Three, two, one. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Monday. Welcome to the Cheecast. We're live here right now on YouTube, coming right to you directly from TC4V's studios here in Philadelphia. I'm your host, Marcus Julian Carbo, right here in TCMW Studios, doing the Cheecast, bringing it to you live. Bringing it to you live. And here we go. There is, we're going to catch that. Whoop, there we go. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Monday. I've got a great list of things for you this week. First and foremost, we've got some great announcements, which is awesome, right? Totally, totally awesome. We're over the next 3 weeks. So from today, May 18th, till June 5th, we are going to, on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Friday, bring together the Tai Chi for Veterans instructors from across the country, right? So all of the work, everything that we've been putting together over the last several years, in fact, is now going to be on display. You're going to be able to meet the personalities that are going to drive this next wave in wellness, not just for the veterans community, but for the entirety of the rest of the world, as we'll find out. Because we, in fact, do have representatives from all over the world, even though they may live currently in the United States. We've got representatives from all over the world being a part of this fantastic program. Fantastic program. So what we're going to try and do is highlight 2 instructors each day for the duration of those 3 weeks. Now, there are some exceptions to this rule, right? For instance, this Friday, I have to be other places, unfortunately. So I will not be here for the Cheecast, but then we will pick right back up on next week and go right into things. Now, that does not mean there will be no Cheecast on Friday. It simply means there may be another host taking my place, one of the other Cheecast hosts, mind you, right? So, what to talk about? So this weekend was pretty crazy. I mean, we're still doing the coronavirus thing, the quarantine thing, and I hope that everybody's out there being safe, that everybody's out there staying at home and following social distancing rules, because as you know, we kind of need to do that. The reality of the situation is, and I was reading up on this through the NIH and CDC, and what they are looking for us in general to open back up is 14 days of lowering cases before things start to really reopen. Anything short of that is going to result in, well, an increase in cases, and actually is going to delay us reopening as a country. And listen, I'm with you. I'm tired of being here. I'm tired of being in the house, and the family is all away, either due to work or other family. So for me, it's just been me and the cat, which has resulted in a much cleaner studio and a much cleaner home. But here's the thing about that. Like, yeah, there's not so many dishes in the sink, but that also means there's nobody in the house. And so while there is the good thing that I'm not cleaning as much, the other side of it is I don't have the people I love around me. And that goes the same for all of the students out there that either haven't found us online just yet or are, taking time off, whatever your thing is. But here's the thing. That doesn't mean your Tai Chi has to suffer. It doesn't mean that your wellness has to suffer, or that your movement, or even your social life to some extent has to suffer. Why is that? Well, we live in a magical world. Everything is online now, just like this live stream, just like our classes. In fact, right after this live stream, we're going to go live with our Philadelphia veterans here in a class, not at this particular channel, but it will be live streamed through Tai Chi with Veterans. Same as this live stream, this ChiCast is being now. So you can passively find out where we are or join us online through Tai Chi with Veterans on YouTube, or reach out to us at Tai Chi with Veterans on Facebook and get the links to join the classes directly. Be a direct participant, right? That's important. Now, as we go through and we meet all these incredible folks over the course of the next 3 weeks, what I want to turn your attention to is if you find yourself impassioned, if you hear the call of the Tai Chi with or Tai Chi for Veterans program with Tai Chi Fit and the VA and Optum Insurance, you'll be able to sign up and join us. And speaking of signups and speaking of join us, our very first guest has arrived. He is world traveler. He is a master of beginner Tai Chi. And he's also one of my co-hosts here at the ChiCast, Shane Rose. How are you? Let's see if his audio is actually working. He's not. We're going to sit here and make fun of him until he pops back in. Uh-oh. And then he popped out, and then we lost him. Now it's back to me, and now you got to listen to me. So if you want to sign up and be a part of this amazing group, amazing program, go to taijifit.net. That's Taiji, Taiji, fit, Fit, .net, where you can find out all of the details about the program, the organization, and the peoples that are making it happen. There you'll get to meet David Dorian Ross, one of our generation's top, and I do mean this, top Tai Chi experts, instructors, masters, whatever you want to call it. He hates when I say master. So anytime that you feel the call, if you want to see what's really going on, or at least the facade, the business side of the Tai Chi for Veterans program, head over to taijifit.net and everything, including, hey, listen, if you just want to learn more about Tai Chi, why not learn from some of the nation's best instructors? Now, I'm not going to lock myself in on that, but I know a guy, and I'm sending you to the guy. That's how we do things in Philly. There's always a guy. We send a guy. We do the thing, right? You need a guy to do the thing. I'm the guy to do the thing. That's how we do things in Philly. All right. So with that said, head over to taijifit.net. You can either peruse to learn a little bit more about Tai Chi and how to learn an extreme amount about Tai Chi online through one of the greatest masters of our generation, or you can join the Tai Chi for Veterans program and get trained by the same in bringing Tai Chi and its benefits to your veterans, and through your veterans, your community. Because that's the thing about the Tai Chi for Veterans program. While we are focused on the veteran population, it is an opportunity to really unite communities. In our instructor ranks, we have veterans like myself, we have non-veterans, we have people from all walks of life that are either here for several reasons. One, they want to deepen their understanding of Tai Chi, and teaching Tai Chi and being mentored through the program is an amazing way to do just that. The second, obviously, you want to take care of the nation's veterans, and I can tell you, as a veteran, who Tai Chi really did change his life. It was a literal lightsaber, lightsaber. Yeah, I was watching some Star Wars over the weekend. A literal lifesaver, and you can see that if you go to takecare.org, right? And look up the short film, the docu-short, Be Like Water. And I'm sitting here shifting because I'm sitting on a stoop, and it's not comfortable. And this is always the stoop that I sit on, but I'm wearing shorts today, so I don't have as much padding in my bum or on my thighs. And yeah, so there's that. There's that indeed. So, oh, he pops up. I'm like David Copperfield over here. All right. So, while we wait for Shane to work out his tech issues, and lo and behold, that's exactly what you get right there, right? That's exactly what you get. Now, here's the fun part. Here's the surprise. He's going to pop on. I'm going to find out if I've been talking to myself, by myself, or if you guys can actually hear me.
We can hear you.
All right. We can hear you, Beijing. Volume so high. Mixer. Good morning, Shane. How are you, brother?
Good morning, Marcus. I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, man. I am very good. I'm in a week of 60-minute meditations.
There it is. Nice. Stepping up to the plate.
Woo! Playing in the majors this week. So yeah, good stuff. So much easier this time around, though. So much easier this time around. Not even so much because I know what to expect, just because I'm enjoying it.
Yep. Nice. Well, enjoy it. It's well worth it. Cranking up the time on your meditation is where the benefits will come in.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's so much you get to get done while when you've got that hour. Uh, you can kind of really relax your body and open up your joints and your meridians and your muscles and the cat. The cat loves it. He just lays on my lap the whole time, just all stretched out. So what's going on with you, brother? How you been?
All good here. My girlfriend and I meditate in the morning, and yeah, we've been trying to crank up our meditation a little bit more and go for an hour and 15 minutes and trying to step up to an hour and a half. So yeah, enjoying the sits in the morning, but other than that, it's all good. The weather's finally starting to break, so that's nice. So outdoor projects, regardless of the weather, but continuing with those. So it's all good.
Any fun weekend plans that you did with the weather?
This past weekend, no, just mainly hung out with my dad and my mom. This coming weekend, yeah, we'll be doing some alternative meditations with plants, and yeah, yeah. And yourself?
I took a lot of bike rides this weekend. Tai Chi outside, little bow staff training, which was good, which I really enjoy, as do you. And we need to get together on that.
Yes. Yeah.
Make that happen a little more often. But yeah, it was nice to get out and some vitamin D, in the body. Took a couple of early bike rides, and while I didn't go, traveling out into the economy, I actually did spend some time outside, which was cool. I noticed that there's a lot of kids in my neighborhood now, which is exciting because Halloween. Oh my God.
You start promoing for them. Yo, my house is over here. We got the spooky.
We got the spooky right here.
I got good candy for you, kiddies.
I don't see. I don't like it when you say it like that. We might
But
actually have to stick around and hand out candy this year. There's so many kids in the neighborhood. It's pretty cool. So
yeah,
like we put up the whole like yard thing and all the spook where 100% spook. That'll be cool. I'm
yeah.
looking forward.
It's like they keep on saying that these the wild animals are slowly creeping back in, and you're starting to see sea turtles and foxes in the city and such. It's like, yeah, you also see kids playing in the streets too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That used to be a problem solver. Now it's a play date. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that. I was looking. I think it was the BBC. It was reading it was saying it was Brisbane or Sydney or whatever. One of the major cities that's over there in Australia had a kangaroo jumping down Main Street, which like hasn't been seen in forever. So this would be like our version of a polar bear walking through Times Square.
Right.
I which is which is cool. So yeah, tell us, since you're meditating and I'm mad at you because you're like going up another frame. It's like, oh, I'm just trying to adopt 60 minutes, and here you are. I'm doing 90 now. Yeah, it's fine.
No, it's hard work. It's no easy task.
I love how I love how you and your partner work together on this. That's really cool, and that you're sharing those mindfulness exercises together. Tell me a little bit about that when you're walking the path intimately, both in sort of the traditional way that we think of things and in a spiritual way as well.
It's, you know, it really is quite beneficial to the relationship to have some sort of spiritual practice, or if you want to call it a religious practice or whatever have you. But it'd be, and to know that the meditation is not only beneficial for ourselves and the relationship, but for everyone around us. And yeah, it just, it helps to go through with that. It gets to be difficult to do it on your own all the time. So it's nice to have a, a partner in crime, like when you meditate. Uh, so yeah, and the fact that she's willing to sit for the hour, and she actually is the one who suggested we bump it up to an hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half. So yeah, it's special. It's nice. So to be able to share that, and as well with Tai Chi, she's very open to learning Tai Chi and any Qigong, and she sees the benefits. As anyone who's practiced Tai Chi, you see the benefits as, while you're doing it, or definitely immediately after you're finished your practice. I just haven't joined her with her yoga yet. She's been inviting me, and I have to do that. But yeah, so it's good.
What's holding you back from the yoga, Shane?
Nothing. I enjoy yoga. It's like, okay, I got my meditation, I have my Tai Chi, I have my studies, I have to do yard work, I got some other projects. There, unfortunately, there's just too many projects, too many things to do at once. So, she doesn't join me all the time with the Tai Chi. She's open to it, but she's usually doing her yoga, and it works for her. So, yeah.
No, that's good stuff. I like that. I like that. It is funny that you mentioned that where you added meditation and tai chi and exercise and then your domestic life and your public life with your classes and all that kind of thing. Where do you find the balance? Where do you make the cuts, the nips and the tucks when you're thinking about your spiritual journey here?
Well, it's like, what is it? Jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
So I'd rather not be a jack of all trades and say that I know this, a little bit of this, and a little bit of that. I'd rather focus and be dedicated and disciplined with three at the most, if not just two practices, really. So I really just try to maintain the meditation and the Tai Chi practice as much as possible. And obviously, yeah, the physical practice, but yeah, you just don't have the time for it. So there's ebb and flows of it, and you just go with what you can do at that present moment in the day or the week or the month, or however the flow is going. You make your adjustments and see what you can handle, what you can't handle, and be content at the end of the day with what you have and what you don't have, and just try to be the best that you can be at that moment.
Be content, he says. That's a lesson for the age right now. When you look at the news, and I'm not going to expressly point anything out, I think we all know what we're talking about. Um, when you look at the news, what do you think of? How does that impact you? Not from the person who is an American, who is a biological entity, but from the standpoint of the sage, or the would be sage, right? Like we're all walking that path. So, how do you filter a lot of the stuff that's going on right now in the news?
Well, I don't watch the news, so there's there's the filter there. But no, it gets to be quite daunting because, yeah, information overload. We're totally saturated with the information that it becomes overwhelming. And I found myself, I'm from what I'm told, I'm a good listener, and I'm finding that I am losing that capability because that's a way of me unknowingly filtering out information, whether I actually want to listen to someone, but I can't because I've been listening to so much stuff.
Mm,
And yeah, so really trying to dial back on that, trying to dial back on how much talking I'm doing, just chitter chatter, right? Gossiping and whatnot. and trying to stay away so much from Facebook and all this other stuff that it's daunting. And there's a reason why silence is critical and very healthy for us people to have silence. So yeah, just stay on top of that, just be mindful of the internal, right? Tai Chi is all external, right? When we're doing the exercise, but I'm seeing it more as an internal thing, as it's how you know, it's deemed to be, right? The mind is the internal opponent. So really trying to grasp that meaning of what they're talking about. So yeah, something like this.
So avoid the news; it's all bad. Focus on the self. But now, what would you say to someone who's like, well, if all I'm doing is focusing on myself, if all I'm doing is this self improvement, self work, isn't that in fact selfish?
Yeah, well, I think inherently we're all selfish. So, own that. Be okay with that. It's there's no need to run away from that. It's like, oh my ego. Well, that ego serves a purpose at the moment, and that's for you to find out. The lesson is to be learned in that. So, yeah, you do your internal work and you fix your internal world, and then that will automatically radiate back out into the world. So I think a lot of the important lesson in that is to, as they say, make your own bed. Learn how to do that first before you go ahead and try to fix the world or anything else. As far as once you find that peace and harmony within your mind and yourself, then the external world would take care of itself, because that's already in peace and harmony. We're the ones who are constantly at odds ends with trying to get out of the mind and get back into the heart. And that's the journey, to get back into your heart.
Back into the heart. I like that. I'm not making my bed though. You're not getting this video. I'm not gonna. My bed looks like two raccoons got into a fight. Their weapons. The only time my bed is made is laundry day. Like that's it.
That's it.
When I switch sheets, once I'm in the bed, it might be okay for a night, but after the next night, it's like the Royal Rumble broke out. It's quite comical actually.
Well, everything takes time, right? So if you don't got the time for it and you got to dedicate a little bit more time to your meditation, then don't make your bed.
That's right. What's more important, sitting on the sacred chair or hanging out making the bed? I say sacred chair.
Totally.
So, big news, big doing. You were just recently joined the ranks of the national online team.
Yep.
So they're going to be from coast to coast, people watching Shane Rose do his Tai Chi thing, both online and in person. But you're already doing the in person thing, not right now. So, what's your vision? How does that feel? Talk a little bit about that. Like it'll be a big deal here at some point. I can be
Well,
behind the cameras and put you up front.
well, most importantly, I'm just super grateful to be in that position, to be able to do something like this and to help spread Tai Chi and what it means to practice Tai Chi and to help people ultimately, right? And especially for this program with the veterans and everything, yeah, it's just super beneficial, not only just for veterans, but anyone else who's there, especially their spouses or caretakers. They're more than welcome to join in as well. So yeah, it's good, and I don't know, just don't, it's another Tai Chi class. You can't let it get to your head. It's just walking the squiggly line of the yin and yang that's right behind you, making sure you're not going too far off to the right or left, not too chaotic, not too harmonious. So it's yeah, it's a great opportunity. I'm happy to be here, and I look forward to teaching anyone and everyone, and also to be linking up with the other online instructors as well. I can't wait to really dive into that and take some of their classes and learn from them, and we all get to share, right? Sharing the experience and sharing our practice and sharing what we know and sharing what we don't know, and yeah, just enjoying the journey together as a team.
Cool, cool. So, from the standpoint of like Tai Chi experience, now I know, and I love this story. where you've been doing Tai Chi since you were like 13, right?
Yeah.
When you were a rave kid with the glow sticks.
Little taste, little taste.
But that experience of flow and movement and just sort of letting go of the world. Like I was never like a raver, but I went to a lot of raves when I was younger, and like I was always amazed by what the glow stick kids would be able to do. Like even you would see like glow sticks on on strings, and they'd be moving them around and swinging them and all that kind of. It was pretty cool. You guys are
Uh-huh.
pretty cool. But here you are, you're in Tai Chi, you're applying the principles, but overall, and I would even consider myself fairly a beginner, but you've been doing Tai Chi for about 4 years.
Right.
So you're in it enough and you study enough and you practice enough that you know how much you don't know at this point.
Mm.
Right? Which is different from someone who first joins and they're like, "Oh, this is not too hard. I can manage this and do whatever." At your point in the journey, explain a little bit about your perspective on the whole thing, right? Like where you are, where what your practice has taught you, and where you see not too far in the future, but just sort of a general idea.
General idea about the practice. Yeah, I think you can attest to this as well. It's a wonderful practical philosophy and tool to be used in the daily routine of your life, and to take your Tai Chi practice and implement it in your relations or business or governing or anything else. Hence why the Tao Te Ching is so flexible in that manner. And yeah, and ultimately, like you said, like as much as I've practiced, and 4 years is nothing, right? But as much as I begin to learn all these things, it's ultimately coming to the point of that I don't know really anything, and I'm just along for the ride, and really beginning to see how the balance of the energies flow, and what what the Tao is all about, and to really try to come in contact with that. If not to come in contact with it, we're already in contact with that, but to be sensitive enough and actually like to open up my eyes and to be willing to feel it and to be engulfed by it. And it's like it's in your practice. You get that state of the flow state, right?
Yep.
So something like this, yeah, and just to try to maintain the flow, not just within your class, but in daily life as well, to be in that state of mind and that sensation, that feeling. So it's a wonderful journey, and anyone who's just starting, keep at it, enjoy it, have fun with it, And if there's anything I can do to help you, let me know.
My feet are a little sore.
Well, you keep on bringing that up. I guess you really want me to rub your feet, huh?
Saying Tai Chi is hard, man. Like it's a lot of rooting in your heels, and sometimes you arch your foot wrong, and the balls of the feet get too engaged, and your toes are just never mind. So,
Well,
oh man,
you bring up a good point. After 4 years of practice, I realized that I really do not have that strong of a root, if not probably a root at all. So it's almost as if just because I practiced for 4 years, I think I'm now just beginning to practice correctly.
right. Oh my God, yeah.
So it doesn't really matter how much time you put into it, and some of the books say it too, that if you're not rooted and you're not really sinking your chi, it doesn't matter if you've done it for 50 years, you really haven't been doing Tai Chi, and you haven't been moving the chi, and you've just been exercising, you've been dancing the whole time. And it's quite a like humbling experience to realize that 4 years into it and I really haven't done anything at all. I just know how to move, and so yeah, coming to that terms as well, and understand like how you move your chi, and that is yeah, that requires a lot of dedication and practice,
See,
discipline.
I think you don't give yourself enough credit here, right? not that you don't know anything at all. You've learned quite a bit in the time that you've been, because you have to get to a certain point to know what you don't know, right?
Yeah,
And to know that beyond that, there's so much more that you don't even know there is to know.
yeah,
Uh, you know?
yeah. Yeah, you point out a good point. It's like a double-edged sword, I guess, isn't it? I know that I don't know that I know. Yeah, you go in that loop,
Yeah,
like
pretty
we're
much.
about to. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. Like recently, I have felt like I don't know anything. But I think a part of that is when you get into the milieu, a lot of instructors and a lot of instructors with a lot of experience,
Mm,
it can feel a little intimidating. Like, oh my God, what's happening here? Like I thought I was doing something, and apparently I'm not.
yeah.
But that's not really the case. Like you are able to perform and you are able to embody
Mm,
the principles of Tai
yeah.
Chi, even if they're not sanded to a fine sculpture just yet. Quite frankly, very few people could tell the difference anyway, right? Especially at your level, and I mean this as a compliment. When you perform, it's like watching poetry in motion. Like you're very good, very fluid, very strong, and yet still gentle as you move, as Tai Chi is supposed to be. So it's not that you don't know what you're doing. You obviously, even to the untrained eye, know what you're doing. But there's just so much under the surface. It is a vast ocean.
I guess that you bring up a good point. I appreciate it. And yeah, I guess that's what happens when you start reading from what the masters, the grandmasters, and the Sifus and everything. Once they start saying this stuff, you're like, oh man, if they're saying this, then maybe I should. Yeah, so maybe I'm being a bit too critical because that's
No,
what I feel like I'm dealing with that now.
well, isn't that one of the struggles of the ego, right?
Yeah.
The I have to be proficient, I have to be perfect, I have to make this work. When in reality, like the principles, in fact, set almost an impossible standard to achieve. But that's sort of the point. It's like asking you to draw a circle perfectly, freehand. You're never going to technically be able to do it. But as you practice, you get to a point where you can't really tell the difference between someone using a compass or a stencil and your freehand circle.
Right.
You know? So
True.
don't be so hard on yourself. My
I
goodness.
know. I know. I know. It's,
But in all fairness, I mean that is something that makes the greats ultimately great is when they are hard on themselves, when they put the time in. It's not just self critique. You're not just beating yourself up. They're like, all right, I'm going to go out and practice this thing for 2:20 or 2 hours, 2 minutes, 20 minutes, or 2 hours.
mm,
Uh, that's where it's living. If you try to do it, speaking of the Tao, if you try to do it, you'll fail.
mm,
If you practice at it, you'll just become it,
right.
right? It's the do or do not. There is no try. That's where George Lucas got that from. My goodness. Oh, well, brother. Tell us where we can find you.
Well, I'm on Facebook at Tai Chi with Shane, and I am also on YouTube at Tai Chi with Shane as well. I'll be wearing this shirt. You can't miss it. And yeah, so the page is up and there, and I am looking forward to adding more and more content as the days go on. And then also teaching Tai Chi online for Tai Chi with veterans and the Tai Chi Fit program. So I'll be holding classes online. And yeah, you're more than welcome to join me. I look forward to having you in class. Anyone who's out there listening and wanting to join.
That's right. Publish that schedule so I can take one of your classes there, Shay.
All right, we'll do.
I'm tired. I'm tired of teaching. I just want to sit back and learn.
It sounds like we need to hit the park this Wednesday then.
Yep, that's a definite.
You're
All right, brother. Thank you so much for joining us this morning on the very
welcome.
first of our Meet the Instructors. I can't think of a better instructor to have rolled out first than one of the Chihos cast and a very, very good friend of
Yes.
mine. So thank you once again.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And yeah, talk soon. Thanks for having me.
You got it, brother. Have a great day.
You too. Peace.
All righty. That's Shane Rose, Tai Chi Fit instructor extraordinaire. Yes, he has just made the online instructor team, of which we're going to have three. That means 21 classes of Tai Chi available to everyone per week. It's going to be a part of the Tai Chi for Veterans program. But at the same time, if you are not a veteran, you can reach out to the instructors and find out how to join them. All of our instructors are fantastic, just like Shane. I'm all right. We've got another instructor coming up here in about 4 minutes, which is pretty cool. But don't count yourself out. And one of the nice online things is that you can try this from the privacy of your own home. You can get the link and join live, so you're actually having it happen in real time. Or you can find the passive streams, whether it's on YouTube or Facebook or one of the other social media platforms, and honestly practice it without judgment. Now, in a Tai Chi community, even in a live class, there's very little judgment. And if there is, those folks tend not to stick around. One of the things that I absolutely enjoy about the Tai Chi Fit method is there's no critiques, there's no criticism, there's no judgment. Your purpose is to experience the flow, is to have fun in it, because that's what matters. I remember as a young practitioner, and by young I mean just within Tai Chi, although I was in fact younger. It's about 10 years ago now. Coming to Tai Chi and really enjoying the movements, enjoying the atmosphere, enjoying the ambiance of the whole rigmarole surrounding Tai Chi. But then I remember the first time I actually experienced flow. I remember the first time where, one, just to see it was beautiful, but to experience it was transcendent in its own way. And I was not very good at it back then, right? It was still starts and stops and all that. It didn't matter to me, because for me, I was enjoying just everything about it, and all of my fibers of being, my bones, my muscles, like everything was just moving. And here was this very beautiful, beautiful thing that I was watching and experiencing and now performing, which blew things away. And in that, and speaking of blowing things away, we've got with us from North Carolina, Ed Brosso. That's a very fancy name, Ed. I love your last name.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. How's it going today, Marcus?
It's going fantastic, Ed. Welcome to the Chi-Cast and our second instructor spotlight. How are you?
I'm doing great, doing great. Just enjoying the day. It's a nice, cool day, actually, today. It clouded up and rained a little bit last night. Went out and played in the garden for a little while.
I like it. I like it. Did you bring any tools with you into the garden to play?
Just my imagination.
Nice.
Went ahead, I had to check in on the plants, make sure no critters got to them overnight.
That's phenomenal. So Ed, how long have you been with Tai Chi Fit and the Tai Chi for Veterans program?
Well, I discovered Tai Chi Fit back in November, and that was my first time actually experiencing it. I logged in and I saw what was going on, and I saw the Tai Chi Fit or Tai Chi for Veterans program, and thought that was just an awesome thing to do. Of course, I'm a veteran. I spent 26 years with the Air Force. Uh, did all the desert storms and just everything since 1990 has just been crazy. I know. Uh, 92 on, it's just been a whirlwind for everybody. Uh, but I I've been studying Tai Chi for quite a few years before then.
Okay.
Um,
So coming across Tai Chi Fit, and the philosophies are a little different with Tai Chi Fit. The Tai Chi is still Tai Chi. What was your initial reaction to it? How did you sort of embrace it? Give us a little insight.
ah, well, what's cool is you've got all the cool Tai Chi moves in Tai Chi Fit uh, without actually having to do Tai Chi. You're not restricted by the how you say the rules that apply to Tai Chi don't always apply to Tai Chi Fit. It's more a matter of being in flow with things than it is about actually knowing how to do the moves. Uh, very good. Oh, just in case, I live right next door to an Air Force base, and if you hear anything loud flying by, welcome to the sound of freedom.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
I've got F-15E models flying by who knows when.
Oh,
anywhere from 7 o'clock in the morning till 11 o'clock at night.
that's adventurous. Can you actually see like the airfield from your home?
I'm about I'm about probably 3 blocks away from the airfield.
So close enough where all the windows shake whenever there's a
It's been known to happen. uh,
Oh, that is crazy, crazy, crazy. So you joined the Air Force in '92. I won't tell you what I was doing in '92.
Actually, I joined in 1981.
81. I will not tell you what I was doing in 1981.
I joined the Air Force in 1981, and I retired in 2007.
Wow.
Um,
Wow. That's a huge sort of career. There's so much went on during that time period.
I've been blessed. I saw the end of the Cold War.
Yeah.
Uh, of course, I got to spend a lot of time in Korea and the Philippines, Thailand, and Southeast Asia overall. And then of course, I came back to the States. And after I came back to the States, that's when all the Southwest Asia stuff started happening.
Yeah.
Uh, Daharan, I did 2 tours in Daharan before all the stuff happened there. Uh, then I was able to, I did 5 tours in Southwest Asia, and then I also uh, was with First Combat Com in Germany. Uh, then I've managed to. I've had a very lucrative career. I was very lucky,
Yeah.
and I met a whole lot of interesting people while I was doing it.
That sounds like a loaded statement there, Ed.
Yeah, I won't go too deep into that.
It's funny. I'm a part of a writers group, and while all the quarantines are going on right now, we are meeting via Zoom. And last night we were just kind of going around the group, getting to know each other, and they were asking about stories which had happened in varying people's lives. And I shared one of my European stories that, as you know, come off almost cinematic. Like there are situations that you get yourself into as a veteran
Oh my
that
goodness.
kind of pale in comparison to everything going on in the daily lives of most civilians. What perspectives do you think that gave you going forward?
Well, I was blessed because I studied martial arts the whole time that I did my military career. From '83 on, I met I'm still with my same instructor that I met back in 1983.
Wow.
He moved from Korea. Of course, he was Korean, but he uh, he moved from Korea to California, and we've been in touch ever since.
Wow.
So I'm blessed there. Now he's not a Tai Chi guy, but but he understands the concept.
Gotcha.
Now I started going heavy duty Tai Chi probably around late 1990s.
Okay.
But the Tai Chi fit I really enjoyed. I love the way DDR and you handle things. Judy's been a blessing. Of course, I still have a couple of my flow shows before I'm certified. And I still got to do my practicum, my final
Uh,
practicum. We'll
Uh-oh.
see.
Yes, Judy is the drill instructor you never knew you needed.
Well, she's been very nice to me. I guess surprisingly gentle.
She actually has nothing but good things to say about you. Funny enough,
Oh,
she gave me your name personally to
oh,
bring to
wow.
the program. So high praise for
Fantastic.
you. And after we did our auditions, and just so the audience knows, Ed is a part of the online mentorship program in Tai Chi Fit. And that's for us to try and help everybody become the best online instructors that they can be in Tai Chi, which is really cool. But everyone had to audition to get in. And when Judy gave me Ed's name, I was thinking, all right, well, we'll give him a shot. I didn't know Ed from a slice of bread at that moment, and or I think we had met like once or twice before that, but
Yeah.
nothing too concrete. When you started to move, I was like, this guy's got the it. This guy knows what he's doing, right? Even if you were a little uncertain about like the routine or whatever, your movements are so fluid. You're so rooted. There's no like blockages when you move. It was a joy to just do that with you, and
It's a
very
lot of fun regardless, and people like you make it even better. It's uh, we'll flatter each other all day.
That's right. That's right. That's what this is. This is one big back scratching hour, which
Uh,
is fantastic.
well, it
So you're go ahead.
seems like most of what I've seen in Tai Chi Fit, especially in the flow, it seems to come from Yang style,
Yeah.
uh, and I'm that's primarily what I practiced my whole time. I dabble in a little bit of this and a little bit of that, a little Chen, a little Wu, uh, a little Sun, but
Yeah.
I always end up going back to Yang because it's so smooth.
I I absolutely agree with you on that. Absolutely agree with you. The gentle, soft nature of the Yang style is
And
just
it never really stops.
yes, yes. Uh, when I practice Chen style, because I absolutely think Chen style is very very cool.
Yeah,
Um, I do it with the Yang philosophy in mind, that never stopping. The end of the move becomes the beginning of the next, and that's not really even a Yang thing. That goes all the way back to I look like Zhang Zifang. I'm sorry. Yes, I do this for a living. Goes all the way back to the Tai Chi classics, and the idea of just you move like a river. And you're absolutely right. The Yang style personifies that river-esque movement.
right. Because
Uh,
you have no, for lack of a better word, fudging, uh,
yeah,
the snap that some of the other systems have. The the there's so much to offer from all of them, and what I like about Tai Chi is I can do Chen and part the wild horse's mane and still part the wild horse's mane.
yeah.
I can do Wu and I can do part the wild horse's mane and still part the wild horse's mane.
Yep.
So everything's still related, even though there may be subtle differences.
Now, do you find that your ventures into the other houses influences how you practice your Yang style?
Very much so. Uh, my other martial arts, of course, I started way back in the 1970s with martial arts. Uh, Started with karate, different Okinawan martial arts, and then of course, I went to Korea and I started learning Hapkido and Musul and a few of the others. what I've discovered is I've gone from one extreme to the other. I've got hard style karate and I've got Tai Chi over here. But what I studied in Korea is what they call a hard soft martial art.
Yep.
So it uses the internal and the external, plus you've got the benefits of both. Now, I much prefer the softer side.
Sure. Yeah. That's interesting. So talk about the differences between your hard styles, your soft styles, and that in between zone.
Yeah, well, the hard styles, you learn how to block and punch right away.
Right.
So I'm learning how to defend myself right away. So I block and I attack and I counter and I learn how to fight right away. Whereas Tai Chi, you practice these movements for 6-8 months and then you suddenly realize, whoa, this would make a great martial arts move. And then somebody with some wisdom comes along and says, well, if you do it like this, it is a great martial arts move. I'm like, oh, the light bulb comes on.
It's funny that you say that. I remember like when my Tai Chi started going into the more martial aspect, and when I found out what wave hands like clouds, the practical application of that actually is, I was like, oh my God, I've been secretly becoming a tough guy. I didn't even know it.
3 different versions of needle at sea bottom. I mean,
So in your time working with Tai Chi Fit in the Tai Chi for Veterans program, what have you learned? What are you looking forward to?
well, I'm actually looking forward to working more with the veterans. I've not really got in the door as much. Of course, since March, everything's shut down.
Yeah.
So I've not even made it to the VA. But I've gotten my word out there. A lot of my friends are veterans and they're involved with like the DAB or, the American Legion and such. So if I can get the word out there that they've got a resource here locally, then that's going to make my day.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And there's a lot of veterans here. You're down there in North Carolina, right?
Yeah, I'm like an hour away from Fayetteville.
Okay. Home of the airborne.
You spent some time there?
Maybe. I may have passed through once or twice. Like literally, I was stationed up at Fort Drum, 10th Mountain, and we would have to run between Campbell and Bragg all the time as like spoofs and goofs, and they would do the same thing to us. It was always fun. So yeah. I'll leave that right there.
Gotcha.
That crosses that line of like vet humor. And I realize our whole audience may not be ready for all that. But yeah, that's so. What am I thinking here? I'm thinking, where do you see the benefits for Tai Chi helping other veterans?
Well, we've got so many veterans out there that, for instance, suffer from PTSD or suffered some sort of TMI or
TDI, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Not TMI. That's later. That's what we were doing earlier.
That's right.
But we've got so many people that have it and they don't even realize they have it. Maybe, well, it's like all of us. Those of us that spend any time in action like to have our back against the wall. We like to see the door. We like to see we can't all sit against the wall.
It's true.
So we have to learn to accept things.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have trouble doing that. And by practicing things like flow and Tai Chi, then we can learn to accept things and well, just like the word says, flow.
Yeah.
And if we can just let things happen rather than having to control everything around us, then I think that's going to make a big difference for a lot of people. And if they can get up there and just follow our lead and not have to worry about learning it, then it takes the stress out of everything. Okay?
Oh, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I mean, I think everybody sort of struggles with this and getting in their own way and sort of kicking water uphill a lot of times. And you're right, Tai Chi absolutely gets you to accept who you are so that you can flow better down life's river, if you
Right.
will.
Well,
So
I've
yeah,
noticed one thing is that a lot of people don't want to learn Tai Chi. They want to do Tai Chi.
yes, yes.
All right. I've been teaching the same people for 6, 7 years, and they don't know the form any better now than they did 5 months before after they started.
Oh, you're so
well,
right.
well, they do, but they don't. They will not claim knowing it.
Right.
Uh,
If you tell them to do it by themselves, they will stare at you like deers in the headlights and just
exactly.
what?
And it finally dawned on me they didn't want to learn it. They just wanted to do it with me.
Yep.
Uh,
Do you
so that's
find
that's
the community that builds up around your classes tends to be pretty tight knit? Yeah.
yeah. I've got the same people at the YMCA uh, pretty much that I started with. Uh, it's built. I'll have anywhere from 5 people to 20 people. You can't ever tell, but the same people keep coming back.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's true. I like how you said that though. We should make that the quote of this little interview. People don't want to learn Tai Chi, people want to do Tai Chi. I love that. that that perfectly encapsulates exactly what it is. While we were waiting for you to pop in, I was recalling when I first started Tai Chi, and I probably drilled probably the first 2 years. Like we would practice a little bit with flow and putting moves together, but it was a lot of like this is parting the horse's mane, this is needle, this is the kick, this is such and such. And then one day, all of a sudden, we strung the whole thing together, and we went for like 45 minutes, and it
oh,
was a life-changing experience. Um, very, very akin to what DDR does, and oh my God, yeah, you're absolutely right. Because at that point, while I was checking Tai Chi out, like that looks good. After that, I absolutely fell in love. Like I was ready
oh,
to put on it when it was done there. So yeah. So how do you navigate those waters when you know that people just want to enjoy it, and yet you've done all this work and you've learned all these things that you may feel that you need to impart upon people? How do you balance
well,
that?
that's where the golden nugget comes in. You go through and you have them do it with you, and then at the end you give them a little bit of something to remember.
Mm-hmm.
And if they got something that they can practice, just one little thing that they can kind of go over, even if they're only doing it in their mind, then they'll have something. They'll come back the next time and say, "Hey, you remember that thing you showed me? 6 months from now." So if we know that if if 1 out of 10 does that, then you're blessed.
That is
Uh,
true. That is very, very true. I am so glad you pointed that out. I had that happen one time in my big vets class down at the VA hospital. And this guy has been with me since the beginning. He was one of the original veterans that came into the class 3 years ago. Now the class, that's when we were like 8, 7 strong. Now we're like 30 strong. And he comes to me this one day and he's like, Marcus, I got to tell you, man, what you said about, sinking your heels, about rooting into the ground, keeping your ears over your shoulders, that really resonated with me. I found my balance today. And I was
Yeah,
like,
planting your feet, but still being able to wiggle your toes.
yes. Oh, yeah. Well, the thing is, Ed, I say this probably 20 times a class. And it took 3 years for him to go through his journey and finally hear that and apply it. All right. So I get exactly what you're saying, that golden nugget. And it's different for every student. That's why you can't really control it in any way. You just got to do your
And it's
thing.
different for every class.
Yeah. 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 So
You,
what's
you
what's
go,
your funniest class story?
oh, let's see. My favorite thing is sometimes I'll space something off in the middle of a form. Um, even something basic like the 24 form. I'll go through and I'll do, I'll say wave hands like clouds, and then you do your single whip right before you do your wave hands like clouds.
Sure.
So I get through and I would skip wave hands like clouds and I would go on to the next section and 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 then I'd do that next section. I'd realize that I left out wave hands like clouds. So I say, well, now we're going to add this.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Or when you add a move every now and then, just for the fun of it. A simple form like the Tai Chi 10 form.
Yeah.
I'll stick a snake creeps down the tree in there.
Ooh. Yeah, where do you sneak that in? I'm curious.
At the end.
Oh,
I'll do everything in the form. I'll do the grasp the swallow's tail, and then I'll go right from that. I'll go right into snake creeps down the tree.
oh, very nice. Very nice.
So now it becomes the Tai Chi 12 instead of the Tai Chi 10.
I like it. That's right. You make your own Tai Chi up.
And they're like, that's not in it. And I said, it is now.
What's in it is whatever I say is in it. That's how this works.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Ed, I want to thank you for joining us here on the Chi-Cast today. And
Well,
20
thank
minutes
you.
go by really fast when you're doing this and having fun. Any last words for the Tai Chi Fit and Tai Chi and non-Tai Chi audience out there?
Well, I think for the Tai Chi Fit folks, keep doing it. You guys rock the world. Uh, it's still a young program, and there's so much to go with that, and it seems to be growing. You've got a little bit of Tai Chi, you've got a little bit of yoga, you've got some of the other styles of Tai Chi branching their way in. There's so much to learn from it, and hey, don't stop. And the people that are not Tai Chi folks, just follow the lead. You don't have to learn it. You just do what you want to do. Uh, follow people like you. Yeah.
Trying to get around the camera. I'm going back there.
Be entertained.
Exactly right. Ed, tell us where we can find you online.
Well, look, I've got a couple of sites. I've got a Facebook site that I call it's Water Circle Harmony, and I stick little Tai Chi tidbits in there. A couple of times a week, I stick something in there. May not be completely Tai Chi related, but you'll see it. I've also got a special thing for the Tai Chi for vets that is called Yuanhua, which translates from Korean into water, circle, and harmony. I've got my Instagram page, which is Yuanhua also. Check it out. I'm new to Instagram, so be patient with me.
Yeah, I feel you. I have an Instagram account and I never use it. I only did it because like DDR is like, oh, we're on Instagram now. I'm like, great. I have to get one.
Yeah, I'll try to send. Well, my Instagram goes to my Facebook apparently.
Yeah.
So, but I've not messed with Instagram very much. But but the Facebook, I'm learning to integrate Zoom with Facebook, so expect more from that. But come check it out if you get a chance.
That's right.
Let me know what you like, what you don't like, and maybe we can fix it, or maybe not.
Then we just accept it and roll with it.
Yep. Hey, here comes the sound of freedom. Wait a minute. Can you hear it in the background?
I heard it. Yeah, I heard it just a little bit in the background. That is fantastic. Ed, thank you so much for joining us today on the Cheatcast.
Thank you, Marcus.
Following your adventure through the journey and probably seeing you join the big online team eventually as we get down the road.
Hey, thanks for having me. And if you ever want to get together and do some stuff, let me know.
Oh, that I will take you up on, brother. All right. Have a great day, and I will see you soon.
Take care.
All right. And that was Ed Brasu down there in North Carolina, one of our fantastic up-and-coming Tai Chi Fit instructors for online and for our Tai Chi for Veterans program. Ed is awesome. 26-year Air Force veteran, which is really cool. It's always fun, for me at least, to get a chance to speak with fellow vets on the Cheatcast. So with that said, we are pretty much down to the end here. And I want to thank all of you for joining us live on YouTube or checking us out on Facebook, whatever it is, however you found us. We're going to be making these little bite-sized events here and putting them out all over the web so you can find these amazing instructors that are just setting the world on fire right now and really just making things happen. So you can find me, obviously, Tai Chi Fit International on Facebook, or Tai Chi with Marcus. Yeah, that one's an easy one. Tai Chi with Marcus, you'll see me out there with the bow staff and my silhouette in the profile picture, but you also see my class and Shane in the cover photo, or one of my classes, which is really cool. And you can also find me on Twitter at Tai Chi with Marcus and Patreon, www.patreon.com/Tai Chi with Marcus. And then, of course, I'm a part of the big Tai Chi Fit family. So anything Tai Chi Fit, you can find me. I'm out there, as well as Tai Chi with Veterans, both YouTube and Facebook. We're going to put all the links in the descriptions wherever we post this. And I look forward to seeing you guys over the next couple of weeks as we do this every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and just about every Friday to make the world just a bit happier, a bit better, and just more calm. Being that calm in the storm. That's what we're really looking at here. I'm Marcus Julian Carbo for Tai Chi Fit International, and I'm going to wish you health, happiness, and harmony. Till I see you again, stay safe, stay home, and take care of yourselves.